now you can get out your pen and paper as we go through the lineups for Tuesday night, Super Tuesday. A Canadian programming note is that you will get Dynamite live on TSN2 at 8 Eastern, but to watch NXT live in Canada, it will be streaming on Sportsnet now because Sportsnet 360 that regularly carries NXT, they're carrying the Major League Baseball playoffs. So if you want to watch it on Sportsnet 360, it won't be airing until midnight, but you can stream it live at 8 Eastern. So guys, we can project that AEW is going to win the ratings battle on Tuesday night in Canada.
Sure. Thank you very much.
The live television viewership has been won by AEW. So NXT, first 30 minutes are commercial free, and we have Carmelo Hayes with his best friend John Cena taking on Braun Breaker with his best friend Paul Heyman in his corner. Long backstories involving each of these men with their mentors.
Well, at least for Carmelo, did they not share like anything? Have they shared like a backstage skit? Nothing, right?
No. I mean,
well, we don't know what happened off screen. Same with Heyman and Braun. I mean, maybe years. I mean, I'm sure Heyman would have had interaction with his dad, you know.
I don't think his dad's going to be spoken of because he would have probably been the guy in this role.
Paul Heyman's going to be his new dad, okay? We'll just change that whole lineage up. And maybe John Cena can be Carmelo Hayes' dad.
Okay. Well, yeah. Maybe that's going to be the story. So Roxanne Perez takes on Asuka, a pub fight with Gallus against Butch, Ridge Holland, and Tyler Bate. Cody Rhodes will make a huge announcement.
Mm-hmm. Big announcement.
Big in capital letters. Big announcement.
So what's your prediction? What do you think it is?
He's been cast for a remake of Big.
That would be big, sure.
Wouldn't you think maybe the Dusty Rhodes tournament, or is that not?
Is that big enough? That seems kind of obvious, don't you think?
It's sort of maybe they have some kind of wrinkle attached to it. Maybe Cody's entering the Dusty Road tournament.
Well, he is in a tag team right now, so yeah, that wouldn't be.
And then you get Cody on NXT for a bunch of matches.
Mm-hmm.
That could be something. And Becky Lynch set to appear, and the Undertaker's gong will also be an appearance.
They never advertised the Undertaker. Truly, they just played a gong. Could be anything. Could be a gong. Doesn't even have to be the Undertaker's.
Tuesday's Title Tuesday, which, as we've got pretty much the lineup here with 6 matches. Do 2 title matches? Do you get the leeway to call it Title Tuesday with 2 title matches? Is that enough?
I don't know if that's necessarily enough.
There's more title matches on Raw next week, I think.
But they do have the buy-in match between Minoru Suzuki and Eddie Kingston. That's right. For 2 titles.
That's right. They're up to 3. Oh, you're right. Okay, that puts them over the line. I think that crosses the threshold at that point once you include this buy-in. The buy-in to Title Tuesday. So Eddie Kingston against Minoru Suzuki. This will be on their social channels beginning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Do you think they squeeze in another match on the buy-in, or are we getting a 1-match buy-in?
I think very possible. I mean, other than that, I don't know what exactly they would spend, the rest of the time talking about, because it's not like they have. I guess they do have certain video packages that they can air for the matches over the evening, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw another match there. Yeah.
Wasn't this the deal they did for that SmackDown where they did the buy-in, and wasn't it Danielson and Minoru Suzuki?
Yeah.
And it was something like, I want to say like 70,000 viewers were watching it live. Like it was a ridiculously low number that are tuning in for these like online streams.
Yeah. I mean, it's a web show, and what's the strategy here, right? It's to maybe take away some of the online buzz, maybe just to, the audiences that were going to watch, maybe both, that they get an early head start to their night by watching.
Ideally, you want to do something big with like 5 or 10 minutes left that are going to keep people like you should be hitting hard what the match is at the top of the hour or what segment is starting. Like maybe they start with Edge. Maybe you go with your big thing right at 8 p.m.
You'll get your entrances. Yeah. Right into the show.
You could do 100%. You do the entrances at 7:55 and you've got that viewer. Again, I don't think it's going to be a huge number or make any big difference overall, but for some people that maybe were thinking of flipping back and forth, you do so just to boost up that first quarter as much as possible.
I suppose at a time where WWE might be throwing out the Undertaker. I mean, if you're AEW, what really could you do, right? Like to maybe give yourself a bit of an advantage. I mean, I will say I think the audience that might be tuning into Minoru Suzuki might not necessarily be the same audience that is tuning into NXT for The Undertaker. So they seem to be maybe carving their own path for the type of audience that they're looking for. And this is a big match, at least to a hardcore fan who knows both of these two.
So the show proper at 8 p.m., which will start as well with a 30-minute commercial-free portion, has Ray Phoenix against Jon Moxley for the international title. Are you expecting the title to be bounced back to Moxley?
It's a very interesting one, right? Does clearly like
Phoenix seems like he's in a mess at this moment too. So it's like if Moxley might be the better option at this point, because this title is just man, it's broken these two
completely. Yeah, I mean, in that case, yeah, it could very well be the case. But man, it's a weird stretch of like a couple weeks for this Moxley run. I mean, in hindsight, could he not have just missed like the month, and not have?
I mean, he made the call. He made the call. Like they were.
It was hard for him to know, so he's probably doing the responsible thing at the time. But yeah, I kind of do think Moxley takes it back.
Saraya and Hikaru Shida for the AEW women's title. Dude, I don't know how many people are like watching Hikaru Shida's matches because they're mainly on Rampage, but like, man, her and Statlander had a great tag team match on Friday. It's like Shida routinely has these really entertaining matches. For Saraya, she had the really good three-way at in London. This will certainly be a challenge in a one-on-one scenario with Shida, but she's in with like arguably one of the top women in the company in Shida. Bryan Danielson and Swerve Strickland, the winner will get a TNT title shot. And we found out that match will be Saturday on Collision against Christian Cage, which either one, it's a pretty big match for Collision on Saturday. Hangman Page takes on Jay White, Adam Copeland against Luchasaurus, Chris Jericho against Powerhouse Hobbs, MJF will appear, and a segment with Timeless Tony Storm. And as much as this show is being built up for the AEW side, as of today, WrestleTix reporting just under 2,800 tickets are out in Independence, Missouri, which is very low. This is not sold tickets so far. We'll see if there's some last day ticket push for the company, but if that's some indication, I mean, AEW is not hot when it comes to their weekly television. Like all their numbers are in this 2,000 to 2,500 range by and large.
Yeah, I have to say pretty disappointing. And, maybe you can, I think it's very clear that like, Adam Copeland is an attraction, certainly. And you have to ask like, again, what the show would have done maybe without him, but he's certainly not like the game changer that maybe, a CM Punk was.
Do you think that this was maybe was Luchasaurus obviously he's tied to the storyline with Christian and Nick Wayne. Was this that attractive of an opponent for a first match with Adam Copeland?
I think the fact that it was his first match should have made up for a lot of like this is not a dream match in any way, but it is Christian's, protege basically taking on Edge. And I think I would have expected it to do a bit better than this.
Guess it's just, he comes in and he's rattling off all these names and it's like Luchasaurus is like, it should be a fine match. It's just, you've thrown out all these dream matches. And I mean, regardless, you would think, yeah, just the fact it's his first match, that should be enough of some oomph, but it certainly has not, at least ticket wise. We will see how this does Tuesday night in its given slot. So there you go. That is your lineup for Super Tuesday. And again, we will be live after the shows conclude around 10:15 or so Eastern Tuesday night with Braden Harrington and Davey Portman joining us for the entire show.